Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you again. And I hope you've had a wonderful week. Okay, so welcome again to another episode of True Temperance International, our family health show, which is our theme for this season is Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, Know Your Body. I hope that you have had a wonderful summer, an excellent summer. We were on last week. Some of you may have missed it. For some of you, this could even be your very first time on True Temperance International. So we welcome you so much. And I'm saying a we because True Temperance is a team. Whilst you're just seeing myself on here and I'm your host for today, we have a team of perhaps, not really counted us. There's probably about 10 of us maybe. And we take turns in hosting. And today's presentation is going to be by one of our core members, Dr. Louisa Mogapi, all the way from sunny South Africa. So Dr. Louisa, would you be able to show you? Nobody can see their screens. Let me stop sharing. There we go. Right, would you be able to put your camera on and give us a wave and unmute? Okay,
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are. Welcome to this new season of TTI, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. And I hope that you will continue to learn, and it's good to see everybody again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's always good to see your smile.
I think I've muted you by accident, Sharon. Sorry.
Okay, I forgive you, Jonathan. Like I said, we are a team and we have people working in the background, letting people in from the waiting room and silencing individuals when they need to be silenced or even when they don't need to be, but that's okay. Right, so as I was saying, it's lovely to see your smile, Louisa. Always is lovely to have you with us presenting or just in the background and giving your comments as well. We do have a live chat, and welcome to those of you who have joined us on YouTube. Okay, always great to have you with us. And if you do have any comments that you'd like to leave in the chat as we go along with the presentations or as we go along looking at challenges and things like that, please feel free to leave a comment and one of our team will pick it up and ask your question on your behalf or answer your question. So I'm going to go over to our, I suppose you could call it our promo slide, just so you know what's happening. So today, as you know, you've come on via the poster perhaps. We're looking at the intelligent design, the mystery of your body revealed. The title alone is enticing. It's like a mystery and you want to find out. Okay, and I love the slides. Thanks. So thank you, Q, part of our team as well, and Kubani. And moving on. So I'm going to read the disclaimer just so that you're aware of our stance, where we're coming from. So hopefully you can see the image well. True Temperance disclaimer. Only a physician can diagnose, treat and prescribe for illness or disease. Any information that's disclosed or discussed at the TTI Zoom talk show are for education and information purposes only. Please continue to seek professional medical advice from your general practitioner regarding any illness or disease that you may be suffering from. Thank you. Now on True Temperance International, we have a way of keeping in touch with you in the week or sharing encouragement and prayer requests, etc. So we have a Women's Wellness Telegram group, and the URL is the information there is on the screen. For those of you who are on YouTube, you may want to take a note or take a screenshot, or even if you're on Zoom, you might still want to do the same, but we will have the links put up in the chat. We also have a men's wellness group, so you may want to discuss men's issues or seek for some advice on men's issues. So obviously, if you're a man, you'll join the men's wellness group, and if you're a female, you'll join the women's wellness group. We also have our spiritual health group, which is where we may share devotions or prayer requests, and that's either gender. Okay, so you know what gender you are, male or female, whichever you are, you can join the spiritual health group. That's not gender specific. And we put this slide is on here just to thank everybody for all your support, thanking you for coming on, thanking you for your prayers, for your encouragement, for sharing the links. We really want you to share the links. When you come on, and if someone can mute.
Halami, can you just mute, please? I'm struggling to mute you.
Thank you, Shirley. So yeah, thanking you all for your support, inviting other people to True Temperance, and staying with us. We had a month off during August, and for some of you, it's your first time back. You may have been preoccupied last week, so welcome back. Okay, True Temperance International, we don't only do the Saturday afternoon shows, or it may be morning, depending on what time of the day it is where you are. But we also are involved in other things. So we have an essentials oils class that runs on Thursday evenings, UK time at 7 p.m. Last week, we were dealing with the N from the New Start principle. And the week before, we looked at back to school. So things in essential oils that will help to protect your child, yourself, if you're a teacher or another member of staff in the school. And we looked at what can be used to help support you in this environment, a school environment. Last week, we went through nutrition, as I said, and this week coming up, we'll be looking at how essential oils can help you during and after exercise. So please come on, the link is there on your screen. You don't need a password, so it's the ID is 829 975 24481, and that's every Thursday, 7 p.m. UK time. And that's members from the True Temperance International team that are involved in that. We've had some fantastic presentations. Well, all of our presentations have been really good, blessed by God. And one of our presenters is Dr. Sam Davis. So you can see his details are on here, and he has a 10-day detox coming up starting the 3rd of October. So if you want more information about it, please contact Dr. Sam Davis. He's based at the Unachenta farm, which is in Spain, but I believe this is going to be a Zoom detox program. But for more information, contact him. And the title is Reclaim, Reduce and Reset. And I'm not sure if you speak to him, he may let us know, or in fact, we can find out if it's going to be face-to-face as well as Zoom. So, and Manor House, who come on regularly, and we have presenters from Manor House. They are doing a residential program. They do several residential programs, and the last one for this year is coming up from the 19th to the 29th of September. It says book now, and for more information, there's a number on there for you to call. So boost your health and prepare for winter with this Restore to Health residential program. The number you can see on there is contacting Joan Cornwall on 079 490 72676, or you can go onto Manor House's website or email them at info@manorhousehealth.co.uk. And finally, just a reminder, we did have some summer challenges that were set throughout the month of August, and we asked people to give us some feedback as to how they got on. If you missed it last week, you can always go back onto our YouTube channel and see a couple of the testimonies from individuals that did the summer challenge or struggled at various aspects. And as you can see from the photos, these were the themes that were covered with the various challenges. So making a healthy salad at least 5 days a week, drinking the okra punch, depends on where you're from, exercising in the outdoors, getting rest at a good time, having a social media fast for a week, pomegranate juice, sufficient water, fresh air, and finding out about the benefits of corn silk. So we had lots to keep you busy over August. And that's where I will stop the share. So before we go into our presentation today on the mysteries of our amazing body, I'm just going to invite, if anybody who didn't give some feedback last week for whatever reason, perhaps they weren't on here, can we have maybe 1 or 2 individuals, or we'll invite you to unmute and just let us know if you were able to do the challenge and how you got on. I'll be quiet. It's hard. It could well be that you found out about the challenges for the first time last week, and you want to let us know how you got on this week. Anybody? Are you able to unmute?
They can now.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Right. Is there anybody that wishes to share how you got on? Okay. Oops, Lorraine. No? Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll leave it. Perhaps you may wish to tell us at the end of the show. That's fine. So without any, oh, there's a message in the chat. Without any further, okay, right. Thank you, Louise. So Pastor Sam Davis's detox program is going to be online only. All right. Thank you, Louise. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to our presenter for today. And some of you may not have met Dr. Louisa before, so I'll invite her to just introduce herself a little bit, say something about where she's based in South Africa, the Lifestyle and Wellness Center, and then she can go into her presentation. So thank you, stay tuned and be blessed. Okay, I may have caught Dr. Louisa a little bit off guard, so I'll just say something else as well. I'm aware that we've had several prayer requests. We've had several prayer requests on our different groups, and just to let you know that the team have been praying for you. We have been lifting you up in prayer. There's a lot of sickness going on. There's a lot of concerns, and so we are lifting you all up in prayer. So thank you for sharing those with us, and we continue to pray for each other and support each other. Thank you. I will be quiet now.
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, absolutely. You caught me off guard. Always doing 1,000 things. But for now, I am right here. Once again, welcome everybody to our family health show. I know it's been a wonderful show for a lot of people because we still get feedback. I still get feedback on how people's lives have changed. We've taught you a lot about the laws of health. I am Dr. Louisa Mogapi. I live in South Africa. I'm a medical doctor by profession and by training. I'm a medical missionary as well. I practice non-conventional medicine, so to speak. You will get to see from the presentation just how we practice. I work in a wellness center, a lifestyle and wellness center, also known as a sanitarium, and I work with Jason Williams. Some of you may know him. What we essentially do is we assist the body to work the way it's designed to work, according to how we understand it. And we do that through using the laws of health. Your body's governed by laws. And that's what we taught mostly in the last season of TTI, the laws of health. So a lot of you are doing it, and we're hoping with this new series, it's going to build onto that. I've been doing this work full time since 2015. So it's been about a good 6 years now. I've learned a lot on this journey, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing for me because my mom says I'm idealistic. I always believe that being a doctor meant that you get to help people and improve the quality of their life, as well as, cure them, so to speak. And I was not entirely happy with the practice of medicine that I found myself in, where I like I always say to people, I have nothing against that conventional medicine, but I was not entirely happy with just putting people on medication, knowing that the complications were going to come. I thought surely there had to be a better way. And that's what led me on a journey and ended up me here. And so I'm able to compare the two systems, and I've been able to choose one that I believe works best with the human body. And looking at the results, both in the lab, because we take your blood test, we don't just pull things in the air, seeing at the results from a biochemical, radiological, and objective and subjective feelings of our patient, to see that there have been improvements. And so I continue to learn. We all continue to learn. And as we learn, we continue to teach. I believe we'll be teaching about herbs, but you need to be understanding how your body works. And that's what today's presentation is going to be about. I can talk a lot, so I need to, like Sharon, so I need to look at my time and make sure that I finish on time. Okay, so I am going to go into today's presentation, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. That was the first TV show I had in 2016. I did 13 episodes of Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. And today I'm going to just summarize it. I will not be going into details. The speakers that are going to come from next week onwards are going to go into details of you understanding. I want to give you a holistic picture of your body. Okay, because sometimes we talk about your liver, sometimes we talk about your brain, but we dissect them. But we need to remember that the body is one thing, it works together. And so I'm going to focus on giving you that holistic picture and that knowledge. All right, I hope you can see my screen. I just need to get it into view.
Yes, that's great. We can see it.
This is my favorite topic, anatomy and physiology. The intelligent design, the mystery of your body revealed. For a lot of people, how their body works is an utter mystery. When you get a fever, you panic, you have no idea what's going on. So today I'm hoping that I can remove that veil so that you can understand better how your body works. I call it the intelligently designed body, and you will see how. Because when you look at the human body, okay, when you study it or you look at yourself, you see that it's able to grow. Have you ever wondered how you're born with a heart one size, and then by the time you're 30, your heart is a different size? All your organs grow together with you. The body is able to do that. It grows itself proportionally. It manages and maintains itself. You don't have to think about maintenance, really. It adjusts itself. It defends and protects itself, and it's able to repair and heal itself. Okay, so it is designed and it is well equipped for self-governance. Just because that we see a lot of sick people in this day and age does not mean the body was not designed for that. Often you will find that the reason the body is not growing properly, it's not managing and maintaining itself, it's not able to adjust or defend or protect or repair and heal, is often because of something that we're doing. Okay, and that's because we don't understand. I'm a typical woman. When I drive a car, I just take it and I drive from position A to position B. You know, sometimes I even forget to ask what kind of fuel, and then I get to the garage and they're like, what do you put in it? I'm like, I'm not sure. And luckily the guys would know and they would put that in. A lot of us are like that with our body. We don't know what to put in it. We don't know how to manage it and how to help it. And that's what we're hoping to change today. But where does it get its instructions from? I mean, if I'm saying that this body is wonderfully designed, I mean, you know, where does all this information come from? And that's DNA. We all know about DNA, all right? It's in every single cell of our body. It carries all the instruction for the development of the body, the instructions on how it's supposed to work, instructions on maintenance, instructions on reproduction from conception to death. Your DNA is the instruction book or the manual of and for your life. All right, so that is just quite amazing. So the DNA, what it does is it instructs the cells, which are the building block of your entire body. So each cell, it will instruct the cell that you're going to be a liver cell, you're going to be a skin cell, you're going to be a sperm cell. Okay, so this is what you're going to look like. This is how you're going to work. This is the work you must do. This is how you're going to reproduce and make new cells. And this is when you must die. This is just beautiful. There is order, there is organization, there is system in your body. And the DNA has all the instruction for things to be carried out the way it's supposed to. So there's a time for a cell to be born and there's a time for a cell to die. Just like with us, there's a time for us to be born. After we're born, we have a role. We look a certain way. We have certain skills and talents. We work, we reproduce, and then when the time comes, we die. Our whole body works according to the similar structure. Okay, but the human body is not rigid. It's not that I must do this and I must do that, and if you don't do this, then it's going to automatically break. I've been told that if I take a petrol car and I put diesel in it, it's going to break, and if I put the wrong kind of oil in it, it's going to break. But we see that that does not necessarily happen with the human body, and that's because it's not rigid. Okay, the concept that I want you to learn and understand in your body, so don't be afraid of new terminology. Physiology is simply how your body works, okay? So it knows how to maintain a constant internal environment, okay, despite changes. So when it's cold outside, your body knows that it must maintain a body temperature of 37 degrees because that is the best working temperature. So even if it's minus 20 outside, the body will do a work of maintaining that temperature. This is what we call homeostasis, a constant internal environment. The body will do the work to keep that. And if the body should come out of homeostasis, so let's say you're stuck in a place and it's cold and you're freezing, your core temperature starts to go down. Once you have been rescued, the body will not now continue for you to live with a temperature of 25, because that's not compatible with life, not even a temperature of 36. Or as you know, if you get a fever, you don't always remain in a state of being feverish. Once whatever the issue has been dealt with, the body knows how to return back to optimal function. Okay, so that's physiology and homeostasis. But also there's adaptation and compensation. So our body is able to change to accommodate environmental changes. Our body is able to deal with our disobedience. When we eat things we shouldn't eat, we don't die in the same day because our body offers us grace and mercy. Because a lot of us, honestly and truly, we would have died a long time ago because of how we have conducted ourselves, the lifestyle, what we have done. But the body offers grace and mercy. It's able to adapt and it's able to compensate. But there comes a time, if we continue to abnormally use our body, not the way according to its design, if we're consistent with the abuse to the body, that it can and it will be broken down. And then it will go into a state of decompensation, which is different from compensation. Decompensation and failure. Now, notice I'm not even talking about death, because as I said, death is a normal part of our design, our DNA design. It knows when to switch off and when to switch on. I'm talking about when now an organ, let's say the heart, for example, the heart is working hard and it starts to adapt and it starts to compensate. There comes a time when the heart gets fatigued and it now starts to decompensate on the way to failing. And even when that happens, other organs will step in and they will support that organ that is decompensating and that is failing until a person ends up with multiple organ failure. Now that person may die, not because the genetic material, the DNA was saying it's time for you to die, but you could die because the system failed. So there's a difference in the kinds of death. There's premature death because the system did not run the way it was supposed to run, and there is death which is which is a cell programmed or an organ programmed death. So that's what we need to understand. But the beautiful thing that I want you to remember about your body is it is not rigid. It has given us grace and mercy. So even if you've been living a poor lifestyle, even if just 10 minutes ago you went and drank something or ate something that you know you're not supposed to do, your body is going to deal with you with grace and mercy. It's going to adapt and compensate. But do not continue, all right? Once you have understood what it does to this beautiful machinery, let us then change our ways. Okay, so why do we need to study the body? I mean, your doctor knows all about your body. Why don't you just go to the doctor the same way I go to the mechanic? I go to the mechanic because I can buy another car. Do you understand? It is not a train smash, it's not a life and death issue, but I have one body. And this is the vehicle. My body is the vehicle that gets me through life. So I need to know how to keep it working optimally because I've got a lot that I desire to do. I have a mission and a purpose for my life, and I need to be able to fulfill it. And if my body is not working well, I will not be able to do that. So we're teaching you this to unravel the mystery so that you can understand your own body. We're teaching this so that you can understand how the body is meant to work. A lot of people are living with fatigue, thinking that that is normal. Right? That is not normal. It could be that something is wrong. So you'll understand that your body's supposed to be working at a certain level of efficiency. Can you do something about it if no permanent damage has been done? We want you to understand how the body adapts, okay? And understand the state of adaptation. We want you to understand what is normal and what is not normal. We want you to understand warning signs and symptoms. We want you to understand how to take care of your body for optimum function and how to help it repair. It's designed to repair, but there are certain things you can do to help it. And in the same breath, there are certain things that we do that causes us to get in the way of the repair. For example, I'll give you an example. We're treating a lady for kidney dysfunction. She came in, her kidney function is at about 20%. And we gave her the very best treatment we had, and the kidney function remained the same. And so we're starting to look to see what is going on. Why are you not improving? And it turned out that she was on a lot of medication. So we took a lot of the medication away, and after 2 weeks we changed, and we've started to see the change. So something was getting in the way, and because we saw that no, what we're doing is supposed to help your kidneys repair, but they're not repairing, so something must be blocking it. So when we went and talked, she didn't even think much about it. She says, well, I keep taking my same medication, and when we looked at them, a lot of them were getting in the way. So you need to understand how to help your body repair as well. So meet your body, meet your organ systems. Here, there are only 10, but actually you have 11 organ systems. So you've got your skeletal system, muscular system, circulatory system, digestive system. I believe a lot of you were looking forward to learning about the digestive system. You will still learn about it. I'm just going to bring it all together. The urinary system, nervous system, reproductive system, lymphatic, endocrine, respiratory. What they missed here is the integumentary system. You will get to find out about that. So I'm briefly going to go into a talk about these systems. But as I said, I'm not going to go into them individually because the body works as a whole. And remember that even if I don't go into all the details, you are still going to learn during the season of TTI about the different systems and how they work in more and more detail. Okay, John, I see your hand is raised. Let me go through the presentation, and I believe we'll be taking question and answers at the end. Okay, now I would like to start with the control center, or how I like to call it, it's the headquarters. Okay, like with any organization, there are different functionalities. The control center is your central nervous system, okay? It is the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. But I have also included the sensory organs, okay? And you will see the function of the control center in light of your entire body is to control your body and to regulate and coordinate different functionalities. For sensation, there's memory, there's higher functioning thinking and decision making. when we go into details, I hope I will get to teach you about the higher functioning, the central nervous system, about thinking and decision making and feelings and the like. I like to teach about it. So that is your control system, your central nervous system and your sensory organs. When we talk about your sensory organs, we're talking about hearing and tasting and sight and touch and smell. These senses, they take information from the external environment, okay, and bring it in. So you will smell and know that, oh, they've cooked something lovely to eat, okay? And then you will see it and you'll be like, oh, wow, it looks wonderful for me. And then you will taste it and it will then go and be part of your digestive system, all right? But you would have made a decision with your brain as well that, yes, I'm going to eat it, or no, I'm not going to eat it. So that is your control center. It takes information, brings it in, but it uses these senses, your hearing, things that you touch and things that you see. As well. Remember, these 5 senses, they feed information also to your brain, which is your control center. Okay. And this is what your part of what your control center looks like. You've got your brain, and your brain is divided into different parts. There's a part that's just automatic, that's just running all the time, allowing all the other organs to work, instructing them. There's a part of your brain that's concerned with feelings and desires and emotions, okay? And there's a part of your brain that's focused on higher thinking, your mission, your purpose, and decision making and reasoning as well. Right now, I'm hoping I'm talking to that part of your brain, which is reasoning, and you're learning and you're storing the information using your central nervous system. Then there's your spinal cord with the different nerves to take information in, to say this plate is hot, it's going to cause us damage. The stove is hot, it's going to cause damage. And then it sends information back, move away your arm, so that it protects you. So this is the first system that I'm introducing. It's part of the control system. This is our higher functioning. This is actually what really differentiates us from animals. Not that animals don't have, the spinal cord and all of that, but especially our prefrontal cortex and our ability to reason and our ability to make decisions about what it is. You're going to hear a lot of things that I'm going to say. Some you may, especially at the end, you may choose to disregard, or you may choose to accept. That is a function of our higher brain center. So this is our control system. This is your headquarters. Also, when you will see when we move to other centers, it sends out instructions and communication for how we should be functioning within our environment. Okay, so that is your control center, and it uses the central nervous system. This is what I was talking about. Part of the different brain, the frontal cortex. Really, it's a beautiful design. You will see when we finally study it. This is where we reason, this is where we think, this is where we plan. Okay, and then we have the limbic system, which is concerned with our feelings and our emotions. And then we have all the other different parts. I will not go into too much detail. And then we have a bigger part of the brain that just controls your movement and your coordination and all of these other things. So this is your control center. Meet your headquarters. All right. And then we have systems that are involved in communication. All right. So you have a control center. It knows what it is it wants to do. You also have the DNA with the instructions. They need to be able to communicate, to say, hey, you do this. Okay. So that we're going to look at the systems that are involved in communication within this wonderfully, intelligently designed body, which is what we're talking about today. And so that it's able to grow, so that it's able to function, so that it's able to defend itself, so that it's able to reproduce, so that it's able to do all the things it was designed to do. Communication. In communication, we're talking about coordination. All right. If you're growing, your organs internally also needs to grow in proportion. Okay, so there needs to be coordination. If you need to be moving, your bones and your ligaments and your muscles and everything must be moving together. All right. So there needs to be coordination. There needs to be regulation of other systems. The body systems don't work in isolation, and there are various communication systems. The nervous system, you see it once again, is involved in communication. And there's a hormonal system that's involved in communication. I like to say this is electrical communication and chemical communication. The nervous system is very fast in communicating. It's like sending a text, a WhatsApp, an SMS, or an email. All right, and send it from here to you guys over there. Even this is almost like the nervous system, what we're doing. I'm here in South Africa and I'm able to communicate to people throughout the world. This is what the nervous system is like. Communicates very fast and very efficiently. All right. The hormonal system is slow in terms of communication and has a long lasting effect. Okay. So these are the different hormones. This is how you grow from being a child using the growth hormone. You grow your reproductive organs as well. So this is your hormonal system. It is for communication. Okay. So meet your, I've got a lot of things on my screen here. All right. Meet your hormonal system. Controlled way in the control center in the brain. Okay. There's a part of the brain says, okay, we need to grow, and it will release the growth hormone. It will act on the bones, it will act on the heart, it will act on all the different body parts to get them to grow. Okay, so the growth hormone will travel and it will go to where it needs to do. There's the thyroid gland, which releases thyroxine, which is to conduct everything, to say, okay, you need to work, this is the pace at which you need to do things. Okay. There's the adrenal glands, which are responsible for saying, look, there's a lion, you need to jump and act fast. It releases your adrenaline. Okay. There's the pancreas, which is able to communicate. So the control center will say, hello, the blood sugar levels is over 12, so it is too high. Can we lower it? It sends information. The pancreas then releases insulin. Insulin then acts to remove the sugar from your blood into the muscles or into the liver. So there's communication. The control center picks it up and it tells the relevant organ, you need to do this. So this is the hormonal communication. There are ovaries. The control center will say, okay, this child has reached an age of maturity. We now need to start having her menstruation. We now need to start developing her breasts. So there will be reproductive changes because of communication from the hormones. Okay. And what you will see is, I'll come back to that slide. The hormones, they travel through the blood. So the control center will tell one organ, release this chemical so that it can go act somewhere else so that it can affect a change. Okay, so that is how the communication happens. Control center always in charge, telling one organ to release something, and it travels through the blood to get to another organ. So as I said, it will tell the pancreas to release insulin, which will act on the muscles and allow sugar to go into the muscles, or allow sugar to go into the liver cells, or it will cause a growth hormone to be released, which will act on all body parts, telling them to grow. That is how the body will then communicate so that it's able to grow, or to be able to function, or to be able to meet its own needs. Okay. And there's also a different way of communication. The one that I said was lightning fast. Okay. So you see that hand, it is bright red. Forget that it's arthritis. Let's say I take a hammer and I hit you on the thumb. I don't know why. All right. Then there will be communication. You will have seen it first, so your eyes are going to pop out. Hopefully you would have moved your hand. Let's say you didn't. You will see the red arrows will carry information, and the information will be like, oh my goodness, we've been hurt. And it will communicate that to the brain. And the brain will then say, move your hand from that person and perhaps run away or something. So there will be something that happens, and there'll be communication, which is very fast. Sometimes you don't even think about it. You may even with the other hand just punch me in the face. Okay. So, but those are your nerves that will be communicating because of something that has happened. The nervous system, as I said, is very fast. One of my favorite communications using nerves is after you eat a meal, a sufficient enough meal, and it fills up your stomach. Okay. When your stomach stretches, it actually then sends via the nerves information to your colon to say that, look, the stomach is full. Can you now start actually to release waste material? because we're going to start the process of digestion and more things are going to come. All right, so that's that's also one of the communication using the nervous system. So that's why I always say to people, you must eat and eat a sufficient meal. If you snack, you will not have that kind of reflex. But that is the communication between the stomach and the colon to tell the colon to empty. So don't feel bad if after every meal you feel that you must go to the toilet for number 2. That is actually a normal communication pathway that is happening in your body. You are intelligently and wonderfully made, I tell you, and this is what we're hoping that you will learn from this. So we've looked at the control center, okay, which is in our brain. Okay, and then we've looked at communication, and you saw that that also involves the central nervous system, and it involves another system, which is the hormonal system, which is a bit slower in its actions. But now the body has certain needs to be able to function, okay, to be able to grow. So the growth hormone will say, okay, we need to grow the liver, but the liver can't just grow, it needs material. Like if you're going to build your house, you need to go buy some bricks and some cement. Even as the headquarters, you decide that I'm going to extend my house, you must still meet the needs and buy material. So our body equally has certain needs that must be met. So there are systems that are involved in bringing the things that the body needs. Okay, so in this regard, we're going to look at the respiratory system, the digestive system, and the urinary systems. Okay, like I said, I'm putting them together so that you get a holistic picture. So the control center communicates that something needs to be done. Then the body says, okay, but we need certain things. So these systems come into play. So these are systems that break down and absorb nutrients. These are systems that allow for exchange of gases, oxygen to come in and carbon dioxide to go out. These are systems that allow for the body to control the fluid, the water that comes in and the salts and balancing them. These are systems that control the acidity in the body. And also the system must be able to eliminate, okay, the waste that comes. So firstly, meet your respiratory system, okay? The respiratory system is there to meet your body's needs. Oxygen comes in because all your cells work, they need oxygen to be able to work because your body needs energy, okay? And it uses oxygen as almost like the lighter, okay, to burn the fuel that is coming in. So you breathe oxygen in through your nose, okay, because your nose was designed. You will see that when you learn about the respiratory system and it goes into your lung, there's a beautiful exchange where oxygen comes in, carbon dioxide goes out, it travels to where it is needed. The respiratory system meets the needs of your body, okay? And then there's the digestive system, a beautiful system, often abused by a lot of us because we just love to eat, okay? Starting in the mouth, ending up in the anus. And the whole point is that the control center says, we need energy, we need building blocks, okay? We need certain chemicals to be able to grow, to be able to reproduce, to be able to fix, okay? So then you will ingest the food. That's the only decision you make about what it is you're putting in the body. Once you have swallowed it, the body takes over. It will go into your stomach, be broken down, go into your small bowel, go into your large bowel. Then there'll be other organs, okay? The food does not pass through there, but these organs are there to support digestion. So you'll have your pancreas over there, you'll have the liver, you'll have the gallbladder, and all of these will be supporting the digestion so that it's able to break down the food, extract the nutrients that it needs so that it can be used for whatever. And also part of it is elimination. Also with the system that we saw, obviously there's elimination of carbon dioxide. You don't want it to build in your body because that is a dangerous condition. There's also elimination once the body has taken in it what it needs, beautifully and intelligently designed. And also there is a way that we need to be able to, so we need to be able to get rid of gas material. So that's what the gas that we breathe out. We need to be able to get rid of solid waste. That's when we go to the toilet and we defecate, and we need to be able to get rid of liquid waste, and that's where the kidneys come in. So the kidneys will filter what's coming in, say this is what we need to keep, this is what we need to get rid of, okay? It will send it to the bladder, and then it will send it out through the urethra, and it will remove the waste from the body. So these are the systems that meet the needs of the body in providing what the body needs and taking away that which the body does not need. All right. So if you're joining in, because I see people are just coming in, welcome to TTI. We're looking at the intelligent design. We are unraveling the mystery of your body, helping you to understand it so that you can appreciate how your body is formed and you can know what it is you ought to do with it if you want it to work maximally. We're looking at the different organ systems, but we're looking at them clustered in how it is they work. We looked at the control center, which is your central nervous system, and the sensory organs, which bring information in. We looked at how the body communicates within itself using the central nervous system and the hormonal system, one system being very fast and one system being a bit slow, but that is how the design is. And then we're looking at meeting the body's needs, okay? Putting in what the body needs through the respiratory system, the digestive system, and also taking out that which the body does not need. Also through the respiratory system, the digestive system, and the excretory system, which is the kidneys and the bladder. All right, so that's where we are. And then, so you have extracted all these things. You've put oxygen into the body. You have extracted the nutrients from the food that you have eaten. How do you get it from one place to another? You need what? A transport system. But as you're transporting, you also need a defense system, because possibly as you're breathing in and as you're eating things, things are coming in that can cause damage to your body. So this is we're looking at the transport and defense systems of your intelligently designed body. You see that it was created and every single aspect was thought of, okay? So this is the cardiovascular system, which is your heart and your blood vessels, and your lymphatic and immune system, okay? So the function is to transport, to deliver materials to and from cells. Remember, as much as you're taking oxygen from the lungs through the blood to the different cells, the body must be able to pick up the carbon dioxide from the cells after they have used up the oxygen through the blood and take it out through the lungs again. Okay, the same with the food. Whatever is taken in must be taken in. The waste that comes out must then be taken out through the transport system. But as I said, other things come into our body that's not supposed to come into our body. All right, so we need a defense system. We need a lymphatic and an immune system to detect these things and deal with them appropriately so that it's able to defend us and to defend us also in future. All right. So this is your transport system. It's a major highway and network, all right? Any of you that lives in a city that has proper roads, you know how important this is for delivery of goods and services, okay? So it is with our body. We have the heart, which is pumping all the blood to different parts. Once it has been delivered to each and every individual cell. Do you understand what that service delivery can never be matched by any human design? Each and every cell is able to get what it is that it needs, as long as we're putting it in, obviously. And then the waste, whatever needs to come out, is then picked up by the small capillaries, taken into the venous system, and then it's redirected. The carbon dioxide somehow find its way to the lungs, okay? The liquid waste find its way to the urinary system, and all the other mucus and stuff like that that needs to come out will find its way into the colon as well. So you are wonderfully and beautifully made. The red blood cells that are destroyed will end up going to the liver, going into the bile, and then being excreted out as well. So this is a beautiful transport system, picking up what it needs and picking up the waste and being able to deliver it to the appropriate places. You also have a defense system. You see how the defense system is immense, all right? We all know about our lymph nodes because once in a while they pop up. A lot of us don't know about our lymphatic vessels that are able to pick up things. I'll say, no, you are dangerous. You should not be in the blood or in this place, and it will take it and travel it and take it in the lymphatic vessels, take it to the lymph nodes, which is almost like a jail cell, and it will be studied and analyzed and broken down, and it will be destroyed there. So that is your lymphatic system. You see that there's something called a thymus. This is where your T cells are trained. T for thymus, okay? If anybody who knows me knows I love talking about the defense system. This is like the university, okay? The highest learning place for your cells, and your T cells they've got numerous functions. They're able to help in an emergency. They're able to instruct other cells to make antibodies, and they're those T cells that are like the SWAT team. They're able to destroy anything that does not belong in the body, including also getting rid of your own cells which have been infected and compromised. Okay, so that is part of your defense system. Your tonsils, people, are part of your defense system. Okay, so don't be taking them out. The reason they get swollen is because they're saying, hello, something you've put into the mouth that's going in is going to create damage. Oh, I forgot the little thing that everybody takes out. That's on the right side of the body. Not your pancreas. I will remember the name. Appendix. Your appendix is part of your defense system. Please take care of it so that you don't need to take it out. All right. It's able to pick up the bacterial load that you have and what your microbiome looks like, so that it's able to inform your immune system if you're rightly populated or incorrectly populated. And these are also parts, like I said, the bowel, which is the appendix, is there. So these are parts of your defense system. Okay, we've looked at the control center. We've looked at communication in the body. We've looked at how the body must be able to meet its needs by putting things in. We see how these things that have been put in, how they are transported from one place to another, and how we have various defense mechanisms, your bone marrow making some of the white blood cells, the red blood cells to carry about the oxygen. So we've looked at all these other different systems in your intelligently designed body. But we were not designed to sit down and just think about life and hypothesize and come up with theories. We were actually designed for movement. Okay, we're supposed to be out and about, enjoying the beautiful things in nature and carrying out our missions and our purposes. So in this regard, we're going to look at 3 other systems: the integumentary system, which is simply your skin, your hair, and your nails; the muscular system; and your skeletal system. These are part of your support and movement systems, okay? And their work is for protection, it's to give us the right kind of posture, for support, for moving, sensation, because we've got a lot of nerves in our skin, okay? For blood production in our bones, temperature regulation and heat production using our muscles and our skin, and mineral and fat storage. So this is our support and movement systems, your integumentary, muscular system, and skeletal system. So your skin, your hair, and your nails, okay, they all have a purpose. A lot of ladies, I don't know about in other countries, they like to cut off their eyebrows and get rid of them. Well, that's to prevent sweat from going into your eyes, okay? Your eyelashes are to prevent things from going into your eyes. So we need to be mindful of these different things. Your skin is there for your protection. It makes sure that nothing comes in that's not supposed to come in, and it's also to make sure that you don't lose water. One of the things that happen when people suffer from a degree of burns, especially over 70% degree of burns, is that they die from dehydration, okay? So your skin serves as part of your defense system and your protection system. So this is your integumentary system, your skin, your hair, and your nails. And the hairs also on your body help to regulate your temperature, to keep you warm. You will see that on cold days, the little hairs will stand up, that's trapping air, trying to keep you warm, and then on other days will go down. You'll also see that your skin helps you sweat, which is a temperature, part of temperature regulation, okay? So all these systems have a function. Your muscular system and your skeletal system. Your skeletal system are your bones, and then your muscular, including the tendons, they allow you to move, okay? So you're thinking, I need to be able to reach out for something. You think about it in the control center. Communication happens through your nervous system. You actually move your ligaments and do whatever it is. And you see, when you watch athletics, you see the ability of the human body to perform amazing movement, all right? When you see people dancing, that is the human design, beautifully and intelligently designed. And then the last of the groupings belongs to reproduction and development. Okay, this is the reproductive system and the skeletal system. I mean, the stem cells. A lot of the times, stem cells are not spoken about. And this looks at reproduction. As I said, the cells are born, they live, they function, they reproduce, and then they die. We do the same, okay? We reproduce. This is to allow continuity of genetic information. So you pass on those DNAs, but they will be different because they'll come from two different people. You will merge them to create a totally different individual. Nurturing of offspring and regrowth of damaged tissue. That is the function of the stem cells. So the reproductive system is different for males and for females, the same as with the part of the hormonal system, which is communication. So, and it's not just the male, the organs, including in the female, that includes the breast as well, to be able to nourish the offspring. So this is the reproductive system, and as well as the stem cells. What stem cells are? We have stem cells. Stem cells are your original cells. They are undifferentiated, meaning they have not been committed to be anything. Okay, so they're just your original cells the way they are. They can become anything. They can, if your muscles get damaged, they can then, be activated to make new muscles. When your red blood cells die, they're activated to make new blood cells, nerve system, heart muscles, liver cells. So we've got stem cells that can be activated to make different parts, to rebuild that which has been damaged. Just take a moment and pause and think about that, okay? That why do I have this defect that is not being remade? Perhaps we're not encouraging our stem cells, or we have damaged our stem cells. So it's important that we live a healthy life, because we've got almost like a bank of undifferentiated cells that are able to be activated when needed to be able to repair that which has been damaged. Okay, so that's the importance of your stem cells. So that is what I wanted to teach on the intelligently designed body. There is another organ system that is coming in, which is called the microbiome, but I will not go into that because it has not been officially listed as an organ system. The microbiome are all the different organisms that live on you, because they are more than your own cells. And without them, we become very unhealthy. Okay, so we will add it to the topic, but I did not add it because right now a lot of people know about the 11 organ systems. So in summary, the human body is intelligently designed. Okay, it is designed to govern itself, as you can see with the control center. Okay, it is not haphazard in how it is functioning. All right, the body knows I need to maintain a temperature of between 36.5 and 37.5. All right, so when your temperature goes to 39, that is not an error. Okay, you will often find out, oh, your body realized that you were invaded by an organism, and it knows that a lot of organisms do not survive well at high temperatures, but that your defense system works better at a higher. So your control center will switch the thermostat and say, until this organism has been dealt with, we are then going to raise the body temperature so that it can deal with things. Now, if you don't understand that, when you check your temperature and you see a temperature of 39, you're going to freak out and you're going to take something to lower the temperature. Now, you are assuming that your body is not intelligent, that your body is doing foolish things. It's important to understand that your body is not haphazard. It did not randomly come together to do certain things and therefore it has done other things wrong. It was designed, and it's always seeking to preserve life. And it was designed by an intelligent designer who understood exactly what it is that he was doing. And he put in grace and mercy to say that when you eat something wrong, you should get a tummy ache. Now, a tummy ache is not an invitation for you to take a painkiller, but to evaluate, what did I eat? And what is it doing to my body? How can I assist my body to come back? And I should reevaluate whether I'm going to eat that thing again, because this is what happens. When you have diarrhea, ours is not to rush to stop the diarrhea, because the whole point is that you've probably eaten something and the body wants to get it out of the body as fast as possible. Now, are there side effects? Yes, you're losing a lot of water, so you need to be mindful of that and replenish that which you're losing. Okay, but if you stop the diarrhea, you're saying whatever is in the body must remain. Your body, it understands what it is doing because it was intelligently designed to do that. So we need to have an understanding of what is my body doing right at this moment. Okay, when you have a headache, what is your body doing? Do you think it just randomly wants to give you pain? No, it may be saying to you, you didn't drink enough water, so the cells are not working well enough, so there is pain. You didn't sleep well enough, or you ate too much sugar, or there could be a number of reasons. Yours is to identify the cause so that you can fix it. But if we reach for a painkiller, we're taking a shortcut without fixing what the problem is. And remember, I said your body will adapt and it will compensate, but there will come a point where it starts to decompensate until it fails. And that's not what we want. We want our body to continue working in homeostasis, physiologically adapting and compensating and coming back into homeostasis until we peacefully go to sleep and our time, our DNA says this is time, and it officially naturally switches off, not before time through organ failure. So in closing, I would like to say on this topic of the intelligently designed body, one of my favorite Psalms, this is where we get our theme for this season, fearfully and wonderfully made. I will share it in the New Living Translation. It says, thank you, speaking to God, the creator. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. And I'm hoping that you're seeing it. The more I study the human body and the more I see just what detail God put into everything, the more I marvel at it. A lot of what I have presented today is in my book that I wrote back in 2018, I believe. It's called Health So Easy. And it really is about, chapter 2 is about the intelligently designed body. Chapter 3 is about the operating systems of the body. And then the other chapters talk to you about now what is your duty and your responsibility, the laws of health that you need to follow to assist your body in working well. The first lot of books were sold out. We thank God for that. And we are reprinting. So if you're interested, do keep an eye out. When the books are available, we will make them available to you wherever you are in South Africa. And we're looking at how to get the books out to people, especially in the UK and in the US as well, so that you can read for yourself and get a greater understanding of that. And thank you very much. I'm Dr. Louisa. I'm a creationist scientist. I believe in the human body that is intelligently designed and that works intelligently. And our duty is to firstly acquaint ourselves with how it works and take care of it by being obedient to the laws that govern it. Thank you very much. Sharon, I will hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa, for reminding us that we are intelligently designed. It's not an accident. We came together from the hands of a creator who knew exactly what he was doing when he made us fearfully and wonderfully. In fact, well, the Bible says we are made in his own image. And so therefore, we have to be fearfully designed, fearfully and wonderfully designed. So thank you so much for your presentation. I'm sure it's been thought-provoking. If people, I forgot to say beforehand, get your notebook and your pen, make some notes. Okay, if you have questions, write them down or put them in the chat. Thank you very much, Naom and Joy. And in fact, I can't mention all the names. Thank you very much, everyone, for your comments. Lorraine. If you have questions, please put them in the chat, or as we go along, we can ask you to unmute. We can do them, but I'm making a note of the names as I'm seeing the hands, so we can take you in an orderly manner. Sorry, there is, yeah, okay. Right, I have a question. That's my advantage of hosting. You see, if you don't host, you can't have these advantages. There must be something. Okay, so my question is, and I'm going to comment on something that you said as well. Why do menopausal women overheat? Because we know that if you're sick, there's some kind of, I don't know, illness that you have, your body heats up to try and kill, is it the bacteria or the virus that it's trying to kill? Which one?
Yes, it's trying to destroy whatever has illegally entered your body, but also to stimulate your defense system. Yes,
Right.
but the overheating of menopausal women is a different mechanism. It's not because your thermostat has changed. It has to do with your hormones and with your blood circulation. But actually, a lot of women will realize if they change their lifestyle and their diet, then the overheating will not happen so much, because it's during a time of transition, isn't it? The hormones are changing. And therefore it's affecting, remember, all systems are linked. It's affecting your hormonal system, which includes your thyroid system. It's also affecting your circulation as well. All right. It's affecting your energy metabolism as well. So if there isn't a proper balance while this transition is happening, a woman will start to have this overheating, especially a lot of women, their hormones are not balanced. Your body's trying to lower the hormones. We're busy eating food that is filled with hormones. We're putting chemicals on our body that are filled with disrupting hormones, and therefore we feel this imbalance. There are women who go through menopause and they go through it seamlessly. And then I know we'll be talking about herbs. You will find out how then at that point, when your body is not perfectly going through all of that, even when you're on the best diet, how you can use the different herbs to support your body through that period.
Thank you for that answer. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's thinking about that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good when you said that when the body responds, you've got to identify what is the reason why it's doing what it's doing, identify that and fix the problem. So when you mentioned about the stomach ache, I could actually identify with that. Thanks, Edgar. I could identify with that one because, we were looking at the different herbs and fruit, things in nature that can benefit your body. And we were talking about the amazing elderflower, and then what comes afterwards, the elderberry, which is out now. Several weeks ago, I took some elderberry. Oh, my battery's running low on this laptop. I took some elderberry and I went to pick some, and I had some, but I actually ate it. I ate it raw, and my body responded with an upset tummy, getting hot, and I violently brought it all back out, which was amazing. It didn't feel good at the time, but then I Googled it and realized, I did so, what I did was so wrong by eating it, but thankfully my body did what it needed to do. And I learned the lesson. You have to cook those things first. You can't just put it in your mouth like a bird. We're not designed with bird stomach. So I realized, yes, this is something you have. Just because it's in nature doesn't mean that it's something that I can just eat without thinking intelligently. So thank you for that reminder. Okay, I'm going to go to the hands. And the first hand I saw, even before John, was somebody by the name of Marie. Now, I don't know if she's still on here or if she put her hand up by accident. So Marie, are you still on here, and do you have a question? If you do, we shall arrange for you to be able to unmute, and then you can go ahead and ask the question. So is everybody able to unmute, Charlene or Jonathan? Not everybody at once, clearly. It was Marie. Yeah, Marie, you're still on here. Des Rosiers. Okay, not sure that everyone's able to. Yes, you were muted.
Okay. Good morning. Very excellent presentation. I appreciate it very well. But what I was asking, I didn't have time to take picture to have for Dr. Son Davis for the 10-day detox. The number to get it, that's why I want to ask if they can put it again.
My number?
No, I have Dr. Camacho number from Medical Missionary long time. But now they said a 10-day detox for Dr. Son Davis.
Dr. Sam, yeah.
Yes. Can I have it?
Yeah, I will bring up the screen share again.
1 minute.
I believe it's this one. And just go backwards. Let me. No, there we go. That's the one. You see that? So I'll read
yes, it looks like
07 54 59 73 257. Okay, do you have that, Marie?
07 545 937 257. 645. Yes, thank you. I got it.
257.
Yes, thank you very much. Starting 3rd October to okay. Thank you.
So you have time. And whereabouts are you joining us from, Marie?
I have no problem. It's this morning when I see Sister Caroline said me, I see it. So I said, oh, I'm not going to my online church. Let me get it because I like it.
Okay. Whereabouts are you based, Marie? Which country are you in?
I'm in New York.
You're in New York. Okay. I hear a French accent.
Yes, I'm from Haiti.
From Haiti?
Yes.
Okay. Well, welcome from Haiti via New York or New York via Haiti, whichever way around.
Thank you.
For joining us. And is this your first time on here, Marie?
Since I completed the medical missionary with Dr. Camacho, Dr. William. This is my first time joining them.
Okay. Well, welcome to True Temperance International. We look forward to seeing you on here again. So we'll be here again. But
thank you.
I'm not telling you not to go to your church. I'm not saying that.
What happened?
I'm saying we'd love to see you on here again, but I'm not telling you to stop. You know, I'm not telling you not to go to your church.
I know, but for today it's one day special. I'm happy to assist you. And that was a very informative, very nice presentation by Dr. Camacho.
Thank you for joining us, Marie. And we'll see you on the next training as well, yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
And just for those who are unaware, we do have all these programs. Let me stop sharing. We do have all these programs live on recorded. So if you need to go onto YouTube, you just type in True Temperance International in the search bar, and you should be able to gain access to all of it. I just had a look. There's over 60. Well, there's 62. There'll now be 63 presentations or episodes on YouTube. And if you know somebody that you think they would appreciate watching what you've just seen, then that you can always refer them to our YouTube channel. And if you go on there, remember to subscribe, share, and like. Okay.
So what to put on YouTube?
True Temperance International. That's what we're called. Or if you put TTI, I don't think you'll get there. You have to type in True Temperance International. We'll put that in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
In fact, it's already in the chat, but yeah, we'll do it again. Okay,
yes,
so thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Marie, and thank you for joining us.
Yes.
The next question we'll take is from John. John, are you still on here? If John is on here, you can unmute and just ask your question. Okay, while we're waiting for John to do that, sorry, there's a bit of noise in my kitchen. I am unmuted, guys, thanks. We have Joy with her hand up, and yes, I did have you next on my list. So Joy, if you'd like to unmute, oh, you have already unmuted. If you go ahead and ask your question, Joy.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Louisa.
And before you ask, can you just let us know where you're joining from?
I'm in London. I'm based in London.
You're from London. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Louisa, lovely to see you again. And thanks for this very good and excellent presentation. I just want to ask a question. I'll try and put it in a hypothetical situation. So if somebody has been cleared of cancer in the past and they've been trying to do the healthy way of living, and then suddenly they develop some swelling glands around their neck, and they've been having constant headaches. So I'll heard you saying something about the brain sending signals to the rest of the body, but they have this headache which lasts like very intense 1 to 2 minutes, and then it stops, and then it comes after a couple of hours, and then it's very intense. They have a very fuzzy vision, and they've been told to take painkillers to manage it until CT scan and all the various scans has been done. And I was just wondering whether that's a good advice, because you said something about if you're taking painkillers, it's like you're masking the pain. It's not necessarily what needs to be done. Is the body sending signals? So if somebody's they have a swelling, it looks like swelling lymph nodes around the neck, both sides of the neck, and they're having headaches now. I'm not sure if being told to take painkillers is good. How many painkillers can they take until they get appointment for head to be scanned and for biopsy around the neck to be done and all of that? So I just wanted to find out what this person can do in the meantime whilst they're waiting for these various scans to be done.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Okay, let me clarify my statement. If you're taking painkillers without looking for the cause, then you're just going to be on painkillers. But this person is they're actively looking to see what the cause is so that they can resolve the cause. I am not for people suffering in the meantime while they wait. Obviously, I try to find alternatives for people to take instead of just your regular painkillers, because I don't want to create a new situation, because depending on what painkillers they're taking, some of them could affect the kidneys, could affect the stomach, could affect the nervous system. So you don't want to be indefinitely taking things for pain without looking for the cause. Am I making sense? As
Yes.
to what could potentially be wrong, that sounds like quite a bit of a complicated case. So I would say they wait to get their results to find out what is happening, if the headaches are linked in any way to the nodes. Obviously, if I was talking to them, I would try and find out, and we try different therapies to see how we can relieve this kind of pain. But yes, pain relief is important, but if you can directly deal with the cause of the pain immediately, it's better to do that than to just be taking painkillers, not knowing what's causing the pain.
Okay. All right. That's helpful. Thank you.
All right, Joy.
Thank you very much for your question, Joy. I just forgot to mention beforehand that I know Dr. Komotso has covered so many different systems, and you describe them as being all beautiful systems. Okay. Temptation will be there to ask personal questions on your specific ailment, but I do like the way that Dr. Komotso kind of made it a general thing in terms of, taking painkillers and just trying to push back the pain. That's not something you want to do. You want to look at the cause. So I appreciate that response really so much. Just remind our viewers that we do have a disclaimer, which we did put up at the beginning, that if you are seeing a health practitioner who has diagnosed your treatment, you need to continue to see them. We are here just giving advice, information, and education. So try and keep your questions so that they're just general rather than of a consultation nature. We'd appreciate that. Okay. The next question was Louise Reed, and I have seen your hand, Barbara, and I've seen your question in the chat, Michael. Louise, you asked a question about shaving our bodies. Okay. So are you on here, and are you able to unmute? That's just Louise. Barbara, we'll mute you for a little bit for now.
Yeah.
You can mute yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Dr. Komotso.
Hi, Louise. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah, you were talking about the fact about our skin and all the different parts that our body plays in its protection for ourselves, and how we are so intelligently designed by God. Now, and I wrote this question because, not because I don't know the answer, but because I wanted it to be more public, because a lot of us are taught to shave our arms, our legs, under our pubic areas and so forth. So my question is, if we're so, I believe that wherever we have hair and it's not growing out of, and it's not growing wrongly or too fast or rapidly because of a hormone imbalance or something, it should be left alone, because I believe it's there for a reason. So when we are shaving it all the time, what could be the possible outcome?
All right. Yes. So you want to make me unpopular with the ladies, Louise?
No,
That's
no, no.
fine.
I got your back. I got your back.
Well, it's like Sharon said, we're just sharing information, and the choice ultimately become yours. But when you're shaving off your hair, the hair is there one. As I said, when the temperature changes, especially on your skin, it stands so that it can trap the air. But also when we sweat, it takes away the sweat away from our skin, and it whisks them to the tips of the hair, so that we don't remain wet and damp. A lot of people, I don't know if they would have realized that if they continue to shave their armpits, they're more likely to suffer from infections in their armpits. Because you have removed that which was serving a purpose. And a lot of people who then also shave, especially in the pubic area, when the hair grows, especially if you shave incorrectly, you can end up with the ingrown hairs, because you cut them too sharply and it grows back inside your skin, especially for us Black people, because we've got this curly hair. So it's important to remember that our intelligent designer did not put things there just for the fun of it. Everything has a function on the body. So if you're taking it off, you must understand that there are consequences that might happen because of it. Yes, Louise is right. We can trim it to keep it neat if you want, but it is not my recommendation, especially in the armpits, for you to be shaving off all your hair. It's going to create a place where things can just grow directly onto your skin, and that's not how you were designed.
Dr. Komosa, amen to that.
Wonderful. Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much, Louise. Louise is no stranger to True Temperance International. She has presented on here on detox as well. So if you're interested in looking at Louise's presentation, you can always go back on to YouTube. And what was the topic now? What's all the fuss about detox? That was the topic. So just trying to look through the chat to see who's next. There's a question to asking about sickle pain. That was Nike McRae's. I believe you've got a couple of questions, but this one's more general. So this one is, what can be taken to help with sickle cell? I'm sickle cell, I'm 40 and I'm in the US.
You know, when I first did Sharon, the series Wonderfully Made, somehow the videos made their way to Kenya, and there was this family in Nairobi. They had a 5-year-old daughter who had sickle cell anemia, and she used to get these sickling crises all the time. And they watched the video on the River of Life blood, and they started to understand the 8 laws of health. And they started, I went to visit them actually. They invited me to their house because they were so happy. They put their child on a very strict diet, high in organic fruits and vegetables. Their house was like a little market, really. And they found that the sickling reduced, because of the increased oxygen and the better buildup. Yes, sickle cell anemia is a condition where things have gone wrong in your body, but you don't need to be having such high sickling incidences, because when the oxygen levels go down, and with infections and with blood vessels that are not able to dilate sufficiently, you can end up with that. So it's important to be on the right kind of diet. It's important to understand hydrotherapy, so that you know how you can help, especially your spleen, with some heat therapies to improve the blood flow through there, so that your cells don't sickle. Remember, if your blood vessels get too small, your red blood cells, because they are incorrectly formed, they will not be able to navigate themselves through the tiny little capillaries. So hydrotherapy is important. Eating a proper diet, high in antioxidants, also helps with the sickling events. So, and making sure that you live in an area where there's high levels of oxygen. So city living is not exactly the best place for somebody. This family had actually moved out of the city of Nairobi into the outskirts, and they found that their daughter was doing way, way better. So I hope that helps.
Thank you. That sounds like you're telling the individual about the New Start principle. We're talking about nutrition, we're talking about oxygen, so air, and what was the other thing? You spoke about hydrotherapy, so water. And so for those of you who are unaware, New Start is an acronym where each of the letters stands for one of the 8 health laws. So N is nutrition, and you can do a whole year on nutrition and you still wouldn't cover everything. Okay. N is nutrition, about the times that you eat, the amounts that you eat, what you eat, when you eat, how you eat, the speed of eating, everything, what you mix when you eat, the whole lot. So N is nutrition, E is exercise, W is water. The first, no, there's only one S. S is sunshine. The first T is temperance, hence True Temperance International. It's in the middle. A is air, R is rest, and the final T is trust in divine power. Okay, so those principles, when you apply them, they will give you the foundation to a healthy lifestyle. And if you still got issues, then you go to the 9th doctor, which would be doctor, your medical missionary doctor. But there is a fee. The 8 health doctors are free, but if you need another doctor for a personal private consultation, there may well be a fee. So implement the first 8, and if those should help. Those are given to us by the hand of God. But if you're still struggling and you need some more consultations, obviously we still talk about seeing your general practitioner or your health, your health advisor. But if you need something else, then yeah, there are the medical missionaries for private consultations. Now the questions are coming in now. There was one from a man who was asking about early morning sweats. What are the cause? I don't know if he was asking on behalf of himself or somebody else, but the question was, and I'm sure there are several causes, but maybe there's one thing in particular that might lead to sweats at that time of the day, early morning. Dr. Louisa.
I'm not particularly sure why the person would be having early morning sweat. So anytime you're sweating, either your body is trying to cool itself down, either your kidneys are maybe being overworked and the skin is coming to the help and helping to get rid of the extra fluid. So it could be a number of reasons. Is it a problem? There are people who have a very active parasympathetic nervous system. So their central nervous system is overactive and they tend to oversweat. Be careful. I know that I used to have people that used to complain about sweating excessively, and we used to put them on drug medication to stop the sweating. It is not a good idea when you look at all the side effects. So do try and ascertain and see if really it is a cause for concern. Make some lifestyle changes. Take a cool shower in the morning rather than a warm shower. What some people do is they take a warm shower and then they continue, so their pores remain open. So finish off your shower with some cold water and you may find that your pores close and you're better able then to control how much you're sweating. Those are some of the basic things I would say.
Thank you so much. I knew there was another reason why I ended up with the cold shower after a hot one, not just to put myself through it and think, it does help boost your circulation, but again, as you said, it helps to close the pores and reducing the risk of infection as well. Okay, there's a question on here. How do you deal with something that you don't know the cause of? For example, this person has tremors in their left hand. They don't know how to find the cause, and therefore they don't know how to deal with it. So in general, who do you track down, or how do you track down the cause of issues? So that was a general question.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful question. You have to be, what's that story where there's an investigator and Sherlock Holmes, you have to ask the elementary questions. Okay, you're having a tremor, all right? Which system is involved? So that is, okay, fine, your muscles are shaking, but that's not a muscular system. That is the central nervous system. So the question is, where in your central nervous system is your body failing? So you need to have that understanding. So one, it's the central nervous system. Is it the nerve? Is it damaged? Is what's happening? Is it at a junction of the nerve and the muscle that communication is not happening properly? Or is it in the brain? Dopamine is supposed to be able to control our movement. So your doctor should be able to work it out, because we understand that tremoring is because communication is not happening properly. Communication says, hand be still, and then the hand becomes still. So if you're not able to, that means from where you think about it and transmitting all the way to your muscle. Am I making sense so far, Sharon? When you think about it, that you need to keep your hand still, your brain is supposed to release chemicals. The chemicals are supposed to travel through your nervous system all the way to the junction of your muscles and tell them to stop. So somewhere along that pathway, things are not happening. Then you need to then start treating. You can see a neurologist where they can do nerve studies. And where I find the gap is, excuse the pun, is actually at the gap between the nerve and the muscle junction, because there's nobody who looks at that space. It could be that there isn't a proper communication happening, and that's why a person has tremors. And then once you have done that, then you get an idea of what it is you ought to do. And we would use different therapies. I can't go into all of them, but sometimes we found that if we distract the nerve, that stops. So this is what I want to say. The reason I was teaching the system in such a holistic manner is because you can think about finding the solution. Unfortunately, in our medical training, we're trained to say, okay, a tremor is caused by 1, 2, 3, without necessarily working it out. We assume that diabetes is caused by the same thing in people, and that's not true. So your tremor is not like somebody else's tremor. We must find out where is the problem with you in your communication, identify it, localize it, and then find out what can we do now that we have identified the problem. So it's either the nerve or at the junction or even at a brain level with your dopamine levels.
Okay, thank you for that answer. So there's a few areas where there could be issues. When you mentioned about interrupting the nerve transfer of information, was that using a TENS machine?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Precisely. Yes. You see, you are having an understanding. You see, that's what I want people to do. I don't want you to memorize therapies. Once you can understand, you would use different things. So where you don't have a TENS machine, you would be thinking, how else can I interrupt communication? You may decide to use ice as a stimulator to see if that has any kind of effect. So the point of this teaching is to give you understanding. Then you can start really thinking, you exercising that frontal cortex of yours that God has given you, to ask yourself, Sherlock Holmes, what do you think? And then elementary, my dear, what's an elementary? That's what it takes. It's not that I have all the answers. It's just that I literally zoom into the human body, which is what I want everybody to be able to do. Look into your body, say, this is not supposed to be happening. What's supposed to happen is I'm supposed to do this, and then this part is supposed to do that, and then that part is supposed to do that. So somewhere along this pathway, something has gone wrong. So how can I help the body?
Okay, I love the way you responded to that. Okay, there's a question here on the chat, and I have seen your hand, iPhone. Not sure of your name, but I've seen the hand from iPhone. Okay, so Barbara's asking, what natural remedy can be used for rheumatoid arthritis?
All right, so what our understanding of rheumatoid arthritis, when we look at the system, it's that the problem is not necessarily at the joint space. The problem is with the immune system, which is affecting the joint space. So you don't want to focus on the joint space. So I mean, if you do heat therapies, that's wonderful. That's going to give you some relief, but you have not dealt with the problem, which is your immune system is causing damage to your joint spaces. So you need to modulate your immune system. Now the question is, why is your immune system out of control? Is it because of something you're eating? Is it some things you're putting onto your body? And then once you come to understand that, you need to do the 8 laws of health, the lifestyle changes. You need to look at the different herbs you can take to be able to support that. You may think of attending the essential oils classes, mixing some essential oils with some DMSO for the healing process, and then taking in things like your turmeric herbs that are immune modulating in nature, and that is going to take a while, okay, to get your immune system to be modulating. So as you can see, I didn't just mention that drink this herb and you will be fine. The body works in totality. You need to implement the foundation, the 8 laws of health. You need to do the therapies to help you cope with the symptoms. Like I said, don't just be in pain all the time. And then you need to identify that, okay, so the problem is the immune system. Then you need to go on a specific regimen to correct your own immune system with the support, obviously, of somebody who knows about herbs, or you can start looking into research about that. You could become the next person who knows very well protocols on how to deal with rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that response. And yes, empower yourself and educate. And who knows, you could be presenting on any health show if you have the correct information. Right, so iPhone, I've seen your hand. If you, yeah, there you go. You're quick. Okay. You're quick.
Good afternoon. My name's Lynette.
Sorry,
from Birmingham.
Lynette from Birmingham. Welcome to True Temperance. Is this your first time on here?
Not at all. I've been with you for a very long time.
Okay, well, lovely to have you
More or less
back.
than when you started. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Good afternoon to you both. Doctor, you may or may not have partially covered this in the previous question that you just asked, not the previous, the one before. And it's in relation to the musculoskeletal part of the body. I'm just wondering, I've got a pain, well, a bit of numbness and tingling in my hands and fingers. Now, is that possibly something to do with the nerve pain or that junction that you mentioned earlier, nerve and joint junction?
All right, no, highly unlikely to do with the junction. The numbness as pain is likely to do with the nervous system, the nerve fibers themselves, okay?
Right.
Something is affecting them. It could be there isn't enough circulation to the tips, and therefore now the nerves are starting to be affected. Like, you know, that's what happens in diabetics or in people who are deficient in vitamin B6 especially. So you need to have a look at both circulation and nervous system. So improve your circulation. A lot of us women, we dress inappropriately. You know, our limbs are exposed and therefore blood does not flow to those cold areas. And therefore, if blood is not flowing there, the nerves are not being nourished there. Remember, nerves also need to be nourished. So you need to make sure that those areas are warm, but as much as they are warm so that blood is flowing there, you need to make sure that the right nutrients to support your nervous system is getting there. So your good fats and your vitamin Bs should be able to help with that.
Okay, that's great then. Thank you.
And just check to make sure that there isn't any trace of diabetes or anything like that. Just include that to begin with.
And if that is the case, I mean, I don't know, but if that is the case, what likely impact on, you know, I'm just wondering what the impact will be, or what do I need to do?
If what's the case, diabetes or
if it is, I don't know, but if it is.
Okay, well, the tingling and the numbness, those are very early beginning signs. So you can reverse that. Remember, I think we've done I think I've presented on diabetes. Type 2 diabetes can definitely be reversed. So that can be reversed. Even the tingling and the numbness can be reversed because that's right at the beginning. It's when now you lose all sensation. That's when death has occurred. You don't want that. Okay. So just pay attention. I think perhaps circulation and vitamin Bs may be lacking.
Okay, that's excellent. And you know, as you quite rightly said, I've we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and it's just interesting to know how each area of our body all interlinks and things go wrong for a specific reason, and it's about getting to the root cause of it. So thank you so very much for that.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello. Right, yeah. Sorry, I'm having connection problems here, and I've got two devices, and they both went. So I'm sure you dealt with that question, and I'll have to look back and watch it on YouTube to see what you said. There you go. Right, now some of these questions, I think I may have lost them with the connections going. So let's see what I've got in the chat still. Oh, I can't read on this one now. I need some better vision. Right, I feel dizzy most of the time. I have heart palpitations, was anemic at some point, but the dizziness doesn't go away. Does that mean that I need to see a neurologist? Because my doctor can't see what's wrong with me. I already saw that, I'm assuming it's the ENT specialist since they, the ENT specialist since they suspected balance issues, but there's nothing wrong with the balance. Is that a nervous system issue?
Okay, well, for that person, I would want to see them because when she was mentioning, I thought it's most likely an ear problem. And normally, look, I know you've seen an ENT, but what you can still do is lie. This won't harm you in any way. Lie on your bed with your head slightly tilted over the edge, all right? And then if you have somebody there, just have them tilt your head from one side to another gently. There are parts in your ear that are supposed to help you with balance. And I found that a lot of people who are dizzy and they've seen a physician and nothing else has been found wrong with them, it's often that those little particles are not able to tell you where in space you are. So you kind of feel dizzy and lost. And just tilting your head from side to side every morning as you wake up, that helps. But if that doesn't work, there's definitely something going on, and I think it affects multiple systems. It could be also your central nervous system, but that's quite rare. And for that, I would say you would then need to see a multidisciplinary team, not just your ENT, a physician. I don't know about a neurologist, I suppose. They may be able to, but I mean, I don't think they're very much interested in dizziness. You would need to just kind of show them all the other results for everything else that you have, you know, to make sure that it's not anemia and it's not all those other things. But yeah, like I said, it's a matter of trying to eliminate the common causes and then zoning in. The Bible puts it this way: a curse curseless does not come. You know, there's a reason for what is happening to you because your body is not supposed to be like that. Make sure that you're not dehydrated and all these other things.
Okay, thank you for that detailed answer, Louisa. Dr. Louisa, sorry.
It's all right.
Yes, and that's similar to some of the work that we do in our clinic in Evoke Potentials, electrodiagnostics. That's another area where we would look at balance issues. So there's a variety, like you said, it's a multidisciplinary area of consideration. So it could be, you know, you need to see medical physics. It could be, and even still, we wouldn't act alone. We would act in collaboration with other disciplines, the neurologist, the audiologist, the balance specialist, etc. So so thank you for that.
It could be medication as well, by the way. So just have a look at what it is you're taking.
Yeah.
It could be that.
Side effects. Side effects. Correct. Right then. So I've got a comment here. Oh, there's been a conversation going on in the chat about shaving, and someone says, just because something looks nice, it doesn't mean it's healthy. Shaving of your hair is not correct. If you don't want the hair to show under the arms, then wear a thin t-shirt that covers the armpits. Okay, thank you for that, Louise. And another person is saying, thank you for the advice on rheumatoid arthritis. Right, there's a hand, Yvonne Robinson. I'm happy to take your question. We're going to go on for maybe another 10 minutes. Is that okay, Dr. Louisa?
That's all right with me.
Yeah, about another 10 minutes, and then we'll wrap up and we'll show the slides again, and then hopefully we should be finished for about 5 o'clock UK time. Okay, so Yvonne Robinson, yes, over to you.
Is there a natural remedy for trapped nerves? I've got a trapped nerves like in my leg, my thigh, and it's just give a burning sensation. It was really bad with pain, but then I'm not having pain now, but it just feels sore and burning all the time. Sometimes it's okay, another time it just keep burning. Like now, I'm feeling it, it's just burning.
Did you hear that, Dr. Louisa?
Not
Remedy, and that is there a natural remedy for a trapped nerve? So if one of the admins can let the individuals in from the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
Is there a remedy for trapped nerve? This person's experiencing burning and other pain, so you know, what can be done to release?
All right. I hope you can see me. So imagine these are the bones, right? Through which the nerve is passing, and this black thing is this. So there's a trapped nerve. It means it's being squeezed, and that's why there is pain, right? Now, in asking about natural remedies, just think about it. If you can release that trapping, then the pain won't be there. So manipulation is important. I would recommend that you see a very good physiotherapist to help you to deal with it and find out why that nerve is becoming trapped in that area. What's happening? Are your bones collapsing? Is there swelling and inflammation? What is causing that? Because we can give you something to manage the pain, but we have not released the nerve that is trapped. That's what we need to do if we're going to help you deal with the cause. Get the nerve, the trapped nerve, out of that trap. I recommend that you see a physiotherapist. We've got a physiotherapist, don't we? If you're up there, we've got what's his name? He's very good. He does wonderful presentations on TTI.
David Bartholomew.
Yes, I'm sure he would be able to help you if you're in that area.
Okay.
Thank you, Yvonne, for your question. Okay, I think we've got one more question in the chat, and that's possibly going to be it for today. This one is still, well, I'll read it out, and thank you for your comments, Lorette. I've read what you've said. If you get severe pains in your left lower abdomen every time you want to pass waste, and the pain travels down to, this is very specific, the pain travels down to your left thigh and leg, what might be the explanation for this? So severe pains in the left lower abdomen every time you want to pass waste, and the pain travels down to your left thigh and leg, what could be the explanation for that?
All right. A lot of people, I'll answer that question, but I just want to generalize it first. A lot of people suffer from back pain, and they come to us, Sharon, and we do a colonic irrigation, and their back pain goes away. It's because, one, the colon is loaded, and there are other organs and there are other things that are passing through there. So there could be pressure because of the loaded colon on different parts. Now that sounds like when there's pain going down the legs, that's a nerve that is involved. And now when the colon is full and they need to go to the toilet, that pain is exacerbated. So somehow the full colon is interfering with a nerve. So one, you need to have a look. Are you constipated, and is that interfering? And is there a nerve that is then being affected by that? Am I making sense? So organs are not in isolation. So if an organ is pressing on another part of the body, then it may be able to send that kind of pain. Or it could be referred pain as well, because nerves that supply one organ can also be supplying another part. So I would say that look at the issue. Are you constipated, and try to be eating a diet that's a bit better, but it could be that you also have a bit of a nerve that may be trapped. Do you have back pain? Perhaps you need to just be assessed and see why that nerve is being affected by your colon being full.
Okay, so the last two questions now. One is to do with the aromatherapy class or the essential oils class. I will put this slide back up just after this last question. This one says, I'm a 46-year-old female who's having severe hot flushes. That's not me because I'm older than 46. Who's having severe hot flushes, especially during the night. I don't have ovaries, fallopian tubes, nor the uterus. By the age of 36, I was already having my menopause. I've been taking, oh, this is gone. I've been taking the red clover. It used to help me a lot, but lately I seem to not get any relief. It's affecting my sleep. How can I get relief?
Well, I would need to ask a couple more questions. We need to find out, is there anything in the diet that's contributing to some hormonal imbalance? You know, things like, I mean, if this person is on red clover, I'm assuming you're not taking things like caffeine and alcohol, and I'm assuming you're not taking animal products. So we just need to have a look to see, is it hormonal? If it's not hormonal, then is it circulatory? Is it your thyroid gland, which is also hormonal? We just need to be able to have a look and find the cause. There is always a cause, and then once we find that, then we'll be able to deal with it. Yeah, I think we've done talks on menopause. I don't know if they're also available on the TTI show. So perhaps you can have a look and try other different remedies that has been shared there. But you may, you know, the nice thing about having a one-on-one consultation is we can specifically identify what it is for you. I always like to use diabetes as an example. Not all people that have diabetes, it's because of what they eat. For some people, it's because they're not exercising. Other people, it's because of high stress levels. So when you do a one-on-one consultation, we're able to quickly identify that, oh, okay, for you, if you just started exercising, you would be better off. So perhaps you just need to consult with any of the medical missionaries would be able to help you. It doesn't have to be actually me on these issues of menopause.
Yes, thank you for that. And that was reminding us how interconnected we are and how fearfully and wonderfully made we are. And yes, we did do a show on the on hormonal changes, the menopause, but I believe this was when we had the women's session. We had a Monday evening kind of, I don't know what you call it, but a ladies kind of like a girls' night out or girls' night in, I think, pajama party, whatever. But we were discussing women's issues, and that was on a Monday. And we didn't do that live stream because, for obviously, due to the sensitive nature of the topics that can be brought up, we wouldn't put that live to you. But it's something that we could revisit. It's about September now, so we did say we were going to look into doing another one in September. So stay tuned, watch this space, and if we do put another message out, please do come and attend. Thank you very much, Jenny, for prompting me for one of those questions which I missed. It could have been when my internet cut out. Thank you very much, Eddie, for your comments. We have one more question, and then I have Louise. I did say one more, I can't count, can I? And then Louise Reed has her hand up, and then that should be it. So this is the final question. If there's any other issues, please come onto our Telegram website, and you can contact us individually, send us direct messages, and we will do our best to assist with your situation. But remember the New Start principles. Right, so Tabisa, we've got, my aunt has cellulitis. We thought it was an athlete's foot. And after some time, there was a growth between the toes. The doctor says it's cellulitis. She's experiencing severe pain. What can we give her? And she's also diabetic.
Okay, so cellulitis is inflammation of the tissues underneath the skin. All right, so something is causing inflammation there. Her being diabetic is also a contributory factor. So what needs to happen is, one, we need to control the diabetes. And with the pain, it depends. Is the leg swollen? Is it open? It's inflamed. You know, I'm just trying to think. Okay, deal with the diabetes. Bring it down. And then if it's an open wound, obviously you may want to use some honey mixed with some sugar. If it's not then opened, then I'm not sure. Yeah. Jason, if you're listening, I think you are, because I can hear you. It would be good for you to step in to help with how you would reduce that inflammation while we're getting the diabetes in control. Of a closed, there's no opening, I'm assuming, in the skin.
I don't believe they're on. Hugh, was you going to answer that one? Okay, right. Thank you again, everybody, for your response, for your questions, for your comments. There was one about night sweats. We covered quite a bit about having high temperature in the morning and just generally sweating. So if you're able to go back onto YouTube, you should be able to find the information on there that you needed. I think that would cover the issue. Someone on YouTube was asking, Dr. Louisa, are you in the UK? And maybe they wanted to consult with you, but no, she's in South Africa. You did have a slide up with your number, and someone else was asking, how can I get hold of, okay, right, sorry, yeah, that's a direct message to me. The Telegram links are there in the chat. We can bring that one, we'll bring that slide one back up, you know, the promotion slides. So the last thing I've got to do before I go to the promo is to just deal with Louise Reed, who has her hand up, and then this is the definite last person. Then after that, when we've said goodbye to our audience on YouTube Live, then if you wish to stay on and just unmute and say hi, just to fellowship for about 15-20 minutes, we're happy to do that. Okay, so Louise.
Thanks, Sharon. I'll try and be very quick. I just want to go back to the lady who's having the problem with the hormone problem, and she said she was taking red clover and stuff. We had quite a few ladies on some of our detox programs who seem to be suffering with this problem immensely, quite a few actually. And one particular woman said that after the detox, she was absolutely fine for about 2 months after the detox, but then it all flared its ugly head up all over again. And I was saying to her, have you changed your diet? Have you stuck mainly to what you were doing on the detox program? You know, what's happening in terms of your life? And she was like, no, everything's normal. And I'm like, okay, so what is it maybe that could have started this all over again, that something stays stabilized for at least 2-3 months, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just comes back all over again?
I'm sorry, what's this thing that comes back? The sweating, or what is it?
The sweating, the hot flushes, all over again. It's come back after she did the detox, and then after for about 2-3 months, 2 months, she was absolutely fine. And then all of a sudden, she wrote me recently and said, oh my gosh, it's back with a vengeance. So what could, and I was asking her, has she changed the way she was, her lifestyle in terms of the detox program? Has she changed dramatically? Has she gone back? Or, and she was like, no, I haven't. Everything's the same. I don't know if she has or she hasn't. She says she hasn't. But my question is then, what is it that makes the body all of a sudden functions very well for a period of time, and then all of a sudden, boom, it starts all over again? So my thinking is that there must be something that has changed that has made this come back in such a horrible way for her.
Yeah. Like I said, we would need to have a look, because it could still be hormonal. Remember, a lot of us women in our fat tissue, that increases our hormone content. Things like constipation reduces the clearance of hormones from the body. Just one detox, sometimes it's enough to take you from one level to another, but perhaps it's not enough for all those years. There could be other toxins. It could be circulatory in nature, because remember, the circulation remember I spoke about adaptation and compensation. So it could be that the body is still in that kind of phase, and one needs to keep on going for the body to fully get back to its physiological state. It could be that you need external help in terms of some herbs that you can take in, and some hydrotherapy in terms of cooling down your body system. It could be that you're just prone to flare-ups and capillaries opening. It could be maybe that a person is having too much of vitamin B3 in their system, and their body is very sensitive. So we just want kind of need to find, especially if it's affecting activities of daily living, you just kind of need to continue to be Sherlock Holmes in that regard. I can't say it better than that. And often after some time, we will be able to identify it. I'm starting to see that it seems to be a real problem. So I don't deal with a lot of menopausal women actually in my field. I think women just kind of get used to it and they just live with it. But I'll have do a little bit more research into those factors. I know that it has to be one of those systems, including the central nervous system, because remember, sweating is also, and flushing is also influenced by your sympathetic nervous system. So we need to see if there's anything that's causing it to go into overdrive. So we just need to have a look at those and then try and zone in for each woman that what could it possibly be and how can we minimize that effect.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Watson. I shall get on the case.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. Right, so I'm going to invite Dr. Louisa to do a screen. She's thinking, what's she going to invite me to do? To do a screen share, because somebody was asking for your contact details. And whilst you're doing that, I'll just remind or inform our viewers that next week our topic will be on the respiratory system. So what did we call it? The gaseous exchange, okay? So next week is the respiratory system. We'll be looking at the lungs. And please, if you know anybody that you think might benefit from this, share it's the same link information. We should have the poster up in sufficient time for you to share and let more people know. However, it is the same contact details. It's just that the poster is going to look different, obviously, because it'll be more specific to respiration. So, did you just share that? I saw something on my screen.
No, but I'll share it on the side, because I realized that I closed the presentation once I was done. Okay. So I'll share my contact details in the chat. But I just wanted to just bring us back after all those individualized questions to remember that one, our body is intelligently designed, and we looked at the different. I will not repeat. You can watch it again, but they're all interlinked. But also we need to remember that in as much as we strive to do and to be obedient to the laws of health, we do not live in a perfect environment. The air that we breathe is not always 100% what it's supposed to be. The water that we drink is not always 100% what it's supposed to be. The food that we eat, if we're not growing it ourselves, and even if we are with the chemtrails, it's not always 100% what it's supposed to be. There may be herbicides and things that you're eating and you're not even aware of it. So do not be surprised, and do not think this is not working when you are following the rules and you find that you're coming up with certain things. There's just been a thing going around that in South Africa, the wheat that we're eating that is mainstream has a herbicide in it. So I'm not growing my own wheat. So I had to make a mental note and say that, okay, so it could have this kind of effect on my body, so that I do not then think that when I feel sick, it is because I have personally done something wrong. I still buy food from the shops. I do the best I can. But understand we do not live in a perfect world. So you're not going to be 100% healthy. But what we're striving to do here is to say, then you must understand that something has gone wrong. That's why we use the herbs. The herbs come in because we do not live in a perfect world. We live in a world of sin. So then, because we live in a world of sin and we're in a world where things are not the way they're supposed to be, the herbs come in to support our bodies, but we must also intelligently know how to support them. So please don't feel discouraged that you went on a detox program. Your body is working better than it was working before. And just because you have these little snags, we will look into it. That's what we do. We will do more research. And the next time we come and present, we will say, look, we think this is what could be contributing to your health. This medication, the herbs, maybe from the food that you got, the fact that you're living in the city, you're exposed to this when you're on the bus, all of these things are going to have an effect on our body. But you're still fearfully and wonderfully made. All glory, honor, and praise to our living God who has given us this wonderful body that's so designed that even in such an imperfect world with all the things that are happening, we're still able to live a good and a healthy life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa, for another fine presentation. I'm sure it was educational for many. It may have been a reminder to others who already knew the information, but just reinforced what we need to do. I'm sure you're also typing. So yes, Danette, the number will appear in the chat for contact details for Dr. Louisa. And what I should have been doing while I was talking was to do my screen share, which is here. So let's just take it back to the beginning. She says, there we go, and click on this. Right, so hopefully you have that on your screens. We can jump from the disclaimer. So individuals were asking for the Telegram link. So as you can see on the screen, get your phones out, get your devices or whatever you use, get a screenshot. Obviously, you have to have Telegram installed on your device to be able to join the chat. Okay, so install, if you are able, install Telegram, and we will be able to add you to the chat. What's the other one? The one that we've weaned off. It's not Telegram, it's WhatsApp. Of course, WhatsApp. Yeah, there is that, but we're trying to keep Telegram going and minimize WhatsApp. Also, you were talking about the body being connected. We did actually have a presentation by Dr. Mayman Wilson, and that was on the interconnected body systems. You can look on YouTube for that. So again, if you go onto YouTube, type in True Temperance International, you could possibly put the word interconnected. I'm not sure if that will give it to you, but just have a look. There's only 62, 63 presentations to scroll through, but you'll find it anyway. And if you do go onto our YouTube, we're asking if you could subscribe. We have over 1,000 subscribers. Maybe you can help take it up to 2,000. We will see. We're hoping to have Dr. Mayman Wilson on here again soon. So please stay tuned. This was a thanking you for all your support, including coming on today, as well as sharing the links. This is the essential oils class. So somebody was asking for more info, the ID. I realized Jonathan did put it in the chat, but for those of you who missed it, if you're not sure how to use your chat, take a screenshot of this, or I'll read it out even. Oops, I've gone back. I want to go. Can't read it now. Yes, hopefully you can read it because it's covered up by something on my screen saying you are screen sharing. But it is there, the ID for the essential oils classes. So, and that's on Thursday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. So next week we'll be looking at exercise, the essential oils to help during and after your exercise session, helping you to recover. Okay, moving on. And this is taken by Charlene, Alvin, Samantha, Stacey, and myself. Okay, This one is the 10-day detox by Dr. Sam Davis. Sorry, I can go back and get the ID. So it's 829. This was for the essential oils. 829. It's a bit small for me, but I can just about read it. 9752. And my husband just turned it away. 4481. Okay, I believe that's correct. I haven't got my glasses on, forgive me. Okay, and then we have the Manor House program, last program of the year, the 10-day residential program. This says boost your health and prepare for winter. The last booking is the last program for this year, which will be running from the 19th to the 29th of September. There's a number for you to contact Sister Joan Cornwall on 079 490 72676. And for more information, you can contact Manor House, info@manorhousehealth.co.uk. And if you do book to go to Manor House as a result of seeing this, please mention that you've seen the advert on True Temperance International, and we would appreciate that. Thank you. And just reminding you that we do have summer challenges. Summer's coming to an end, but the healthy lifestyle practices still continue. So you have been watching True Temperance International. I will stop the screen share. Dr. Louisa, thank you again. But do you have a challenge for our viewers before we sign off? Sorry, I have a lively household here with images.
You know, I thought about it, but I really didn't set a challenge. I couldn't bring my mind to just get to them too. So if you have one, or if anybody of the TTI team has a challenge that has to do with, you know, the intelligent design of the body, that would be wonderful. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, my husband Edgar's just whispering some challenges to me now. So what he said is, don't just go straight for the pills. Okay, obviously, if you've already been prescribed some medication, then by all means, you know, continue. However, read your medication, read your side effects, be a detective. So this week is your chance to be detective, whatever your name is, and see if you can find out what is the root cause, whether it's through eliminating, whether it's through implementing the 8 health doctors. Try and find out what is the cause of an issue of yours or a loved one. How's that for a challenge?
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I actually agree. Even for those who've already got conditions, even if you're on treatment and you don't change anything, just at the very least try to identify which of the organ system is affected. Then when the presenters come and they start teaching, then you will know that, okay, this organ is affected. But also watch all the systems, because remember, where it is a nervous system, it could be that, like the lady who has the tingling, it could be that by taking vitamin B6, which is taken through the digestive system, that problem can be fixed. So go ahead and be a partner with Sherlock Holmes in finding out what the root cause of your condition is and how to help your body in getting it back into optimum health.
Thank you, Dr. Louisa. I would say be a Dr. Louisa Mogapi, but there you go. Right, there is a request. Somebody wants to invite you to Johannesburg, and they've got their details. So just letting you know that, alerting you to that in the chat, but they also have your details, so it can go either way. And I think perhaps it would be easier if, Daipuo Mapanga, if you take Dr. Louisa's details, because she is a busy lady. So it'll be easier if you contact her and then you do it that way. But you never know, you never know. You might be the one that gets the special call this week. Okay, so thank you once again. Okay, yeah, I've seen that response. I think you're gonna have to do the work and then get hold of Dr. Louisa. Thank you everybody for joining us this week. Look forward to seeing you at the Essential Oils class. If you wish to join us, we're looking at exercise And next week, I'm not sure who the host is. Oh, it's Jonathan and myself. Next week, we'll be looking at the respiratory system. So please come on and tell a friend. And remember, Sherlock Holmes, whatever, be that detective. So goodbye, those of you who have joined us on YouTube. Yeah, thank you. And please stay tuned for the next episode. Bye. Okay, just waiting for that button to go. And as we're waiting for YouTube to be ended, just to let those of you who are still on here know that you will be able to unmute and say your goodbyes, but we're just waiting for YouTube to go. Bye, guys, on YouTube. Bye. Okay, Shelley or Jonathan. Okay, we'll just be quiet for 30 seconds. And if there are others that are going and you're not going to stay